you have a big night, Naka?
Yeah. It was first night in London. So I'm just trying to find bloody coffee pods. It's not easy.
You just shove a couple before you go to bed. Wake up and fine.
Yeah.
Just stab a wee hole in them.
Yeah, let them bleed all night. Let them bleed. Just bleed.
It's terrible for your sheets, but it's I might go grab a beer or something then.
I might go down and grab a coffee from the local shop.
No, you don't have time. Stay still.
Oh, where are the keys?
What are you doing, Naka?
I'm just taking a coffee orders. I'm just going to head down the road and grab a coffee. Oh, shit, my battery's running out now.
Oh, fuck.
Charged it all night, but I didn't have it on. I didn't have it on at the wall.
Did you ever think I was going to be the most organised?
Yeah, I can't believe it, mate. You're easily the most organised, the most reliable.
This is like one of those Vodafone or Telecom ads where they try and show how cool it is and easy to link up with everyone around the world and record an album at the same time and sort of shit, you know. Load of crap.
Nothing good.
And now for the thousands in attendance and the millions around the world who wish they could be here, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Sports Cafe!
Right, welcome to the TAB Sports Cafe-ish. I'm joined by Marc Ellis, who's in London, Lee Hart, who's in Spain, and Lana, who won't tell me where she is. Surprised to see you back, Lana. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for having me again, Rick, and finding me. It's you know,
wonderful. There's been
just have a look.
It's frightening.
He has ways.
Yeah.
There's been such warm, glowing reviews of you coming back, Lana, that it'd be hard to stay away, wouldn't it?
Marc.
I mean, the outpouring of love for you has been quite extraordinary.
Especially from you. Yeah.
Well justified, though, might I say. Well justified.
Don't check for any air tags in your luggage or anything. Okay.
Is that what it is? Something slipped into my
no, of course not.
my bag last week.
So the Olympics have been amazing.
Like the coffee capsules.
We're into the Olympics.
We'll cover that later.
What's the for me, one of the highlights of the Olympics has been the pole vault. Duplantis.
So was this a Naru Comaneci kind of pole vaulting topic that we're going down?
Like why? Like I'm saying genuinely that I enjoyed the men's pole vault. I thought it was amazing. You know, Duplantis who broke the
the men's pole vault now.
What's wrong with the men's pole vault?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just reckon you're saying that to try and put us off the throw us off the centre wee bit. I mean, you've been a bit creepish throughout the Olympic Games. And now you're saying I like the men's pole vault.
Yeah,
what's going on, mate? Yeah,
I enjoyed it. And did you notice the French guy that knocked the bar off with his piece?
See, why do you have to?
I can relate to that.
Why do you have to sexualise every Olympic sport, Rick?
Did you not think
it's now you're creeping on guys as well as women?
Did you not think that was funny?
It's not funny when it happens to you, Rick. I used to do the hurdles and clock one of my testicles every time I went over the hurdle. Once you do that on 7 or 8 hurdles, it's not long before you say shot put, you know. I used to lead with the one leg.
A little bit lower than the other.
You know, I used to think
it's usually the left. You've got to get the gaffer tape. Gaffer tape and tape it up your stomach.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the pole vault well covered.
But it's just grazing it enough to give it that kind of slow bruising, not enough to make a noise.
Best thing for that. Comping.
So, Lana, what have you enjoyed?
You know the thing you use on your heel blisters?
Stop talking.
I'm just a little bit stunned with the. So a highlight for me would have to be the rowing. Like talk about a night of action. Just one, you know, to make all the A finals. Like, you know, those athletes. To have so many athletes in A finals last week, and when you're sort of watching sport and watching the Olympics as a patriot, it's really nice to watch New Zealand doing so well, but knowing some people in the sports personally was just, it was a night of action for me. So I know Matt McDonald, who was in the men's 4, and they, obviously took the silver out, and, it was just one event after the other. I don't know. It's just maybe it was probably the highlight of the Olympics. I watched quite a lot of the sports, but and I'm looking forward again to tonight. I can't wait to watch the canoeing and kayaking and stuff. It's just the cyclists. I can't get enough of it. It's been really great. I can't remember the last time I watched so much and enjoyed so much sport. And from the Olympics, of just
You also sent me a lot of images of the Turkish shooter, which you enjoyed.
Oh. Far out, man. That was just so funny because it just like social media just he just sort of he won silver as well, but everyone else had so much equipment like ninja lenses and patches and all this sort of stuff and all the gear, and basically everyone thought he was like a Turkish assassin or whatever, and they've just fell down this rabbit hole. And he came out with a couple of brilliant quotes about having a bad divorce and wanting to kill his wife or something. It was quite funny. He had a prolific sense of humour about.
If I can bring it back to the pole vaulter that won the gold, did the shooting, put his hand in his pocket and did the shooting sort of tribute to your shooter. So pole vault is really the centre of all the Olympics.
Tell you what I enjoyed, an event I enjoyed, and gender keeps coming up into these Olympics, so I'm not going to go there, but when they did the 4x400 with mixed, men and women,
yep,
I thought that was quite a cool initiative and made me wonder, I think they have done it once before, why they've never really done more events like that, especially relays, obviously.
Yeah, they're doing a swimming relay, which is mixed as well.
Perfect. I mean, what better way to showcase both amazing sets of athletes from a country?
Well, yeah. This is a mixed show.
I'm here. I'm the token female for now.
I think Macca's phone's run out of battery and he's at the coffee shop, so he can't plug it in. Why don't I just throw to, obviously, Lee, you're an expert on the Olympics because you've covered a number of them.
Well, look, I'm an expert. I've done more than most, I'll give you that, and probably more experience than most. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest expert in the world. I'm up there.
You've covered, I think, at least 3 Olympics, of which one of them you actually went to, and I have fond memories of you in Beijing covering it from Los Angeles.
The coverage of the Beijing Olympics. Last thing you want to do is get too close to the action in Beijing, get caught up in the politics, the hype. From here we can get some perspective, some distance on the games, and give some unbiased opinion on what's going on down there in the ground. So join me now as I take you on an Olympic journey on an Olympic show. Based at the Crown Plaza Hotel here, we have a number of facilities that's going to help us. We have a telephone. We also have a mini bar. Downstairs is a business centre. We can log online and check what's happening in Beijing. Back in New Zealand, there's a photocopy machine. Don't think we'll need it. A fax machine. We can go back and forth and send faxes to and fro willy-nilly. Due east, about 60k that direction, we've got the Disneyland Hotel. That's our second media centre, our media hub, if you like. We'll be firing information back and forth between the Disneyland Hotel and this hotel here. We can link into Tomorrowland, Frontierland, Fantasyland, Toontown. We'll be using these 2 dual facilities along with our man on the ground in Venice Beach, Brad Waters. The beauty of doing it over in LA with the time zones, we're about 4 hours ahead of Beijing, so we'll be finding out what's happening in Beijing about 4 hours before they even know what's happening. But joining us at Venice Beach at the moment is our correspondent there, Brad Waters. Come in, Brad.
I can't hear. Come again. I can't quite hear you. Yeah, so breaking up pretty bad.
Yep, no, Brad, mate. Yeah, just move to your left a bit. A couple of steps would do it.
All right.
Brad Waters, of course, down at Venice, and we'll be catching up more with him a little later on in the show.
Yeah, take him back.
Can you remember who Brad Waters was?
No idea. I think I just met him on the beach and said, you're going to become a journalist. But looking at that now, I realise how it's hard to take someone serious when they're wearing Mickey Mouse ears, isn't it? I regret that now.
Yeah.
Looking back on that, I don't think I'd be taking myself very seriously if I'd known then.
It's a time and a place for everything, Lee. Time and a place for everything.
That's right. You evolve.
So a very special welcome to Sports Cafe-ish podcast, TAB Sports Cafe-ish, is gold medalist Michaela Blyde. So welcome home, first of all.
Welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, yay.
It's amazing. How heavy is it?
Well, before when I got when I arrived home with Mum and Dad, we had a full block of butter in one hand and this in the other, and this is definitely heavier. So I think it's like roughly 900 grams, I'm gonna guess ish.
Amazing.
Wow.
So at each Olympics, is there a different gold medal? Do they look different every time? They're not the same at every set of Olympics?
Yeah, no, definitely. This one's very unique. This one's got a piece of the Eiffel Tower. This part's kind of ish the same. I don't know what you call it. I'm going to call this person Olympus, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Then there's always like an engraved piece on the edge as well. So there is some sort of like difference to each one, but I would say like the general weight of it is quite the same.
Any thought about where it goes long term? Like, is it something that you put on the wall, or is it, does it sit on the bedside table?
Yeah, so my Tokyo one sits in its little box and it's actually just in my wardrobe. This one will hang about for a little bit until people stop asking to see it, and then it will go in its box that we get given. That's by Louis Vuitton, and so that will probably go into the wardrobe as well with its mate. So it's kind of safe.
Is it actually gold?
I mean, we're going to say that it is. Smells like it.
So tell me about the celebrations afterwards. How are they?
To be honest, for me personally, it was rather boring because I went from winning a gold medal to being drug tested. So I spent an extra 2 hours at the stadium, hungry and getting tired while I was missing out on like the early kick-ons of our celebration. So
that's a shambles.
I know.
But I tell you what you can do is you can actually get on the celebration, and if you get on the celebration and maybe go through the best part of 10 beers,
yeah.
When you give your sample, it's the first bit that you get out. If you can sort of get rid of that without it going in the cup, miss the cup type thing, that's where all the danger is. And you've got the same specific gravity as water after 10 beers, and so they can't do a test.
Can we change the subject, please, Lee? Have you got something that can just get us away from the subject of drug testing?
Well, I was going to add to that, but okay, if you want.
So they send you home straight after the gold medal.
They sent us the stadium and then straight to the location where our families were. So by the time I got there, everyone was on a really good buzz, but I ignored my fiance. I went straight to food. I was that hungry. I hadn't eaten for about 7 hours by this point. So food was far more important. And then we got to about 1:30, and then I pretty much just went back to my partner's apartment and fell asleep. So, but the rest of the girls partied for about 3 days straight. So they're young, they're hip, they've got the energy. I can do a day, and then I need like a week to recover. So unfortunately, I've lost my touch.
What about you must have been disappointed with Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce not making the semi-finals?
Yeah, no, very disappointed for my Olympic bestie. More so disappointed with the reason of it. Fair enough if she had a niggle or anything, but the fact that there was a rule change of where buses could go just simply because she wasn't staying in the village, like I think that's bullshit, to be honest. She's an absolute superstar, so she shouldn't be needing to go on a team bus to go to the location anyway. She should be escorted by private vehicle. So it is unfortunate for her, but she's now my Olympic bestie. So whether she won or not, she was a superstar in my eyes, and plenty. Well,
she seemed to be a really good sort. She seemed to, all the stuff around the social media, she seemed to really embrace, and
Yeah, no, she's super kind, super caring, and the fact that she made an effort to come to the stadium and watch us play when she had no idea who we were was just really special. So we'll definitely hold on to those memories for as long as I can. But yeah, I message her every now and then. She hasn't seen my messages yet, but when that day comes,
live and hope. Yeah.
One thing I've noticed in watching the Olympics, I've been late to the game, but I watched it the other night, is and this is not a gender-based comment, it's just an observation that I've made, but I've noticed that there's lots of women with no necks.
Well, how can it be a non?
Have you seen them?
What were you watching exactly?
And you sure it was the Olympics?
Well, it was track and field, but But I you know, my theory is it's something to do with phone usage and concrete neck syndrome or something along those lines. But there were, I mean, it's a bit of a defeatist attitude, really, picking somebody with no neck, because where do you hang the medal?
Well, yeah, I can tell you now that our team have necks because we've all got neck rashes from our heavy gold medals, so that's the main thing. But I guess from that perspective, we've obviously got really strong shoulders that take a hit and are a lot tougher than the men. So
no doubt about that. No, it's actually a thing. Like if you watch, maybe it's the traps just going up to the neck, or maybe it's some sort of advancement, like the ostrich
can you stop talking, because you're digging yourself deeper into a hole?
Diversification is really important at the Olympics. Imagine if we all looked the same, how boring life the world would be.
Also, Marc, how can you say it's not a gender-based question, and then you say, I've noticed a lot of women with no necks? Like that is 100% a gender-based question.
Men who have overdeveloped neck areas.
What I was meaning to say, Rick, is I only watched a small amount of the Olympics, and the thing that struck me was that there were a lot of, and I was watching only the females. It just was when I was on watching, it was just the girls in the track and the field, and a lot of them had no necks.
I've got a shovel.
I've got to say also,
would you like it?
The sevens was pretty much the first event I managed to capture. I'm in Europe at the moment as well, in Spain. And it really brought me into the games, actually, because I was surfing around out of sync time zone, caught that, and it really kicked it off emotionally, everything. I suddenly got shit, because that was our first medal, right? It was our first gold. That must be special, kicking it off. Must be feeling quite good, setting the challenge to everyone else in the team.
Absolutely. And the fact that I guess we could claim that we started the momentum that our New Zealand team are on now. Probably since we've won our gold, we've had another 8, 6, 7, 8, 9 medals, and still more to come with obviously the kayakers and the cyclists yet to finish off as well. So, to get the first one for the team and it being gold, felt fitting. But at the other side of it, it was really gutting for our boys. They obviously were in such a good place, but that sevens, you get 1% off and you lose. And so unfortunately for them, it just didn't go their way at the end of the day.
Playing against the clock so much in sevens, aren't you, as well? Like, you get it wrong slightly, you're a better team, but you get it slightly wrong. The clock's ticking down and you're just running out of time to fix it,
Yeah, for sure. And I guess actually Michael Cooper, who didn't make the team for Australia, but a couple of the girls got a cool friendship with them. He said the comparison that he found from 15s to 7s was that you've got to be pretty much perfect in 7s. In 15s, you can kind of get away with some things, especially when it comes to the breakdown or with catch and pass. But with any sort of mistake in 7s, it's pounced upon and then it turns into points pretty much instantly. And so that's the pressure that we have in our game as well, is not only that we've only got 14 minutes to win, but we've got to get every single aspect of the game right to hold on to the control and momentum. And I think we did that really well this time in Paris in comparison to Tokyo.
Marc, you actually played for New Zealand Sevens at the World Cup, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a long time ago, Rick. Who's the one person you don't want to have a one-on-one with? Like, one person in the world that you've got, like, because there were a lot of players in sevens who were pretty bloody amazing on their feet.
Yeah.
Who is it? Imagine the sprinter. Imagine if you had a one-on-one with her and she could catch the ball. That'd be pretty frightening.
If it involved contact, the person that I wouldn't want to do one-on-one with would be Portia Woodman. But if it involved just running, Addie Levi is unbelievably quick. She gets a lot of credit for her speed and what she does for her Australian companions, but take her out of the game and they're a completely different team. So she has got a lot of speed. She's by far the fastest one on the circuit, and she's only 21 or 22. So that's scary to think that she not only could be faster, but far better in her rugby game as well. But yeah, definitely her. But yeah, if it involves contact, you don't want to run into Portia. Like, don't even bother. Just avoid her completely.
Well, the good thing is I'm not planning to.
She's been amazing for so long.
She was probably one of the greatest rugby players of all time, full stop.
100%. What she's done for the game and the statistics that she has beside it will probably never be matched. So she's a legend in her own right, and that will continue for a long time.
And you're a legend too, Michaela. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us, for those of us watching the Olympics, you know, the buzz that you gave us. And also thank you for staying up late down there in Taranaki doing this. Really appreciate it. I know you've just got home. You want to get some rest. So we'll let you go and enjoy just that gold medal, but also just what you've done for New Zealand. Thank you.
No, I appreciate that. This is actually a good
Awesome.
Because if I didn't have this, I'd probably fallen asleep half an hour ago. So
all the best.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers,
See you
bud.
later. Enjoy your break.
Thank you.
Look, Rick, there was a relatively serious observation around the necks. You know, I've been quite shocked.
I know you have, and we also saw an opportunity to rip you apart, so we took that as well.
Well, no, but the actual it's something to do with phone usage or gaming. I think that's my theory. Can you work with me on this?
Phone neck,
concrete neck.
Hey, look, guys, it's really lovely to see you. I'm going to love you and leave you. I've got to move on. There's just struggling down here with the lights and the power and all that sort of stuff. So,
a power cut. It's another power cut.
That was somewhat random, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right. So, joining us now on the TAB Sports Cafe-ish is, do we call you Tim Naki or Tim Myers? What do we call you, Tim?
Oh, whatever suits you. Tim Myers is me legal name, I suppose, but Naki's what I've been going by for a little while now.
So for those of you that need some explanation, so Tim is betting per follower on Instagram on BlackJack. Now, give us a breakdown of where you're at the moment.
So we're I've fired up Series 2 now because the bets were getting a little bit out of hand. Got up to 1.33 million followers. So, I mean, naturally betting $33,000 every day was not attainable. So put a pin in there, and I've since started again now, betting 10 cents for every follower above the million. So $33,000 a day, which is still fucking ridiculous. But yeah, that's kind of where we've got to now. So went on a bit of a tear, an absolute heater of a run. Sorry if I seem distracted. I've got some the ladies beach volleyball up here. Love the prowess, the physical capabilities of these ladies. Nothing to do with the uniform. So
you're sounding a little bit like Rick. He was last week talking about Nadia Comaneci and how he had a bit of a penchant for her when he was a young man, and now he's tried to write the equation by talking about the guy who took the pole vault off with his penis.
Oh yeah, an issue that I'd sadly never face in my lifetime. But
Lee was talking about whacking the hurdles with a knacker.
With the testicle, just a road testicle, they call it.
Tying around the kneecaps. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Can you,
especially when it's actually knocking the hurdle over. You know how they knock it over?
Yeah,
it's a lot of force to knock it.
It's just a 110-meter sprint for you, Lee.
There's always one that's just a little bit, a little bit heavier than the other.
It sounds like he's playing the drums every time he runs.
Yeah, hold on. Let's just clarify.
Ice pack on the end.
And I'm the weird. I'm the weird guy.
Basically, got a skin on it that you could pull over a jug and play like a drum.
And so, just to clarify, I'm the weird guy because I enjoy watching gymnastics.
No, you're just a weird guy, mate. Full stop. Okay. And we just didn't want to let that go without making mention of it. Now you've tried to write the equation by saying, what about? Well, I tell you what, though, he would absolutely happily forgive or forgo his gold medal for the adulation and for the commercial success that will become him as a net result of piecing the bar off.
Who's going to have more people hanging around him at the nightclub later on? Him or the gold medalist?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
Just to clarify, we're talking
Calvin
about
Klein.
We're talking about the guy
he'll get sponsors.
We're talking about the guy that knocked the bar down with his piece. That's the guy we're talking about. Just to clarify, because some people might.
He's got a Trojan deal for now, for sure. By now, you would hope.
So, he sort of smudged it off, didn't he? He smudged it off. It really wasn't like wasn't quite like you, Lee, with the hard impact, the callous nut. so to speak. It was more of a cajoling or a nudging of the bar.
It's a gentle nudging, a grazing.
Yeah.
One could almost say that he did it intentionally, knowing the storm in the teacup that may provoke.
So can I,
very, very clever.
So, Marc, stop now. Tim, when you did Series 1 with these bets, where did you get up to? How much did you win?
It got as high. It really beats me up to say. It got as high as $1,060,000.
You were $1 million up.
Yeah. So I've come to terms with this emotionally now. At that point, any smart man would have put a pin in it. I was at day 80 something in it.
You're talking about the pole vaulter guy again?
The pole vaulter guy. Yes.
No, we get back to the question, which is you're up $1 million up, and where did you end up?
I took $500,000 at the end of it, so it was still a really good result. You can look at it two ways. I lost 500 the last week, or I finished the whole thing winning 500. A fantastic result, but geez, the last week of it was a real fucking stark reminder of what happens if you play long enough. The house always comes for it in the end. So it was losing was, I was fully at terms with the fact that I could lose. The way I lost was horrendous. It was just something that I should have. You win the ones that I lost 95% of the time, but I didn't. So, yeah.
How do you stop when the blood rushes to the head? I mean, what's your 11 o'clock Tinder rule for gambling? I mean, at 11 o'clock, the standard drops because the desperation rises. So there's that bell curve when you're betting and you feel that the 11 o'clock Tinder rule is being breached. What do you do to pull yourself back into line?
You definitely don't want to be taking the last girl home at the bar, that's for certain. So it's a real wet flannel over the head and get a bit of reassessment going.
So
just a lot of metaphors.
Yeah, I don't understand any of them. So where are you at now? You just started.
You started it with the talk of the pole vaulter, Rick.
It really did.
I was doing the Olympics.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
I was still on.
Apologies.
Yeah.
Did you want to revisit that? Sorry.
No, I was going to say.
So it's only 21 that you play. It's only blackjack. It's 21.
Just blackjack. I'm just an ex-dairy farmer who loves a bit of a punt. Blackjack seemed easy, short, sharp. You can do a very quick little commentary, a little soft insult of the dealer, and be on your way very quickly. I don't edit them. I've got a friend back in NZ a good buddy of mine, Robbo, who edits it into like a 60-second clip because the footage is normally a little bit longer. But yeah, I mean, I've got the easy part. I just turn the camera on and record myself having a punt.
But how do you win? Because it's whenever you go to the bloody casino and you give it a nudge, there's no way in God's green earth you're coming out with any lead.
100%. And I don't think I've ever left Sky City back when I was living in New Zealand with fucking cash in pocket. I reckon I've just found the perfect little honeymoon spot there where doing one and done a day, because I have been real diligent on playing one a day and done, no more, no less, win or loss. Yeah, it seems to have worked. I don't know why. I certainly do realise that the longer you play, the more likely you are to lose. But by not playing hand after hand each day, I don't know. It seems to have played into my favour.
Is it fair to say that, Tim, one of your sporting heroes was the Human Cannonball?
The Human Cannonball. I don't even know who the Human Cannonball is.
You don't know? Well,
nobody does. I mean, that's the genius of it.
Before my time.
Well, here's a brief introduction to exactly who the Human Cannonball is.
Well, last week, Rick, we were fortunate enough to receive a fax from a couple of gents who make that sport look fairly passive. They're into extreme sports pursuits and, in fact, human projectiling. We have with us Ben and his manager Scott. Thanks very much for joining us. Firstly, Ben, to you, how in fact did you get involved in becoming
Can I just ask
human projectile?
Is it like shooting yourself out of a cannon?
That's right, Lana.
Disqualifying it.
That's right. Yeah, it's where we were projectiled out of a cannon and try and do a certain amount of feats during that period of time in the air.
Oh, what sort of distance can you get?
Well, my record is 68 buses face to face. So around 260 metres.
That's fantastic. Have you suffered any injuries today? Sorry. It's just
Marc, this man.
Once the cannon is about to be fired, I get a 10-second warning, which is when the wick is lit. And at that stage, I just blank my mind and make sure that I'm ready for projectile. When I get the 3-second call, my mind closes. I close my eyes and just think hard and erect, and then you're just in the air and it's glide time. That's what really makes it.
It certainly is a privilege to have you on the show.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you with our quest.
So that's the
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Human Cannonball. Yeah, he wanted, his goal was to get fired over this is a long time ago now, but fired over the Sydney Harbour Bridge to open the Olympics, funnily enough, in 2000.
I can't believe that exists. I've watched a lot of old Sports Cafe highlights. It used to be our guilty pleasure on a Sunday bender session to get the boys started for the day, but I've never seen that clip before.
No, we got that from Te Papa. That's a very important clip.
That's deep in the archives.
Yeah.
He never got to go over the Harbour Bridge. He went in practice in the South Island. They shot him into the underside of the bridge, and that was pretty much that was current on his career. Yeah, the retired bridge. He shot him straight into the underside of it. They fucked up the angles.
Now, Tim, you also you were a farrier, is that right? You used to make horseshoes.
Yeah, mate. I was a farrier for a good 10 years there. It was my first trade out of school. Did my apprenticeship in Taranaki there, and then run my own business for 5 or 6 years. And before I put a pin in it, before I did me back in, and now found my way to dairy farming, and now somehow I'm the global blackjack guy.
I think we just got to clarify here. A farrier is someone who makes horseshoes. Yeah.
Makes shoes, puts shoes on. Puts shoes on horses. Yeah.
Bob Fitzsimmons, the boxer, he was a blacksmith come farrier back in the day. Rick, you know this.
Yeah.
New Zealand boxing champion about 1900 on.
Yeah, I covered those games. Yep.
He was renowned for putting a couple of horseshoes in his gloves.
Yeah, that's apparently very strong.
Yeah.
Is that legit? Yeah. I could almost believe
Roberto Duran, Fist of Stone.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to say anymore. Like, you just like, what are you doing to my show? Tim, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know how this has been for you. It's been unique for
fantastic.
Me. All the best.
You've been great, mate.
Yeah.
Why don't you take Rick's job, and then we'd have a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh, always a pleasure.
All joking aside,
I'd love to.
All joking aside, Rick, you should take over our betting element of the show. Rick, you're not doing too well there. Perhaps we could pass that on.
Can I just...
give me the gig.
No, can I just interrupt you there, Lee? Because, thank you. I put $50 on the nose for Noah Lyles to win the 100 metres this week, and he came home and paid in a good amount.
Just
is enough.
What's he paying?
So
just counts.
So he paid $2.50. So it's a successful bet. So I have done well this week. So, applause. Well, if you don't want to applaud, that's cool. We can always dub it in later.
If you have to ask for it.
Thanks, Tim. All the best, mate.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you very much.
Good on you, mate.
Right.
Brilliant.
Go well.
Look, I've been looking at the original sports of the Olympics. Well, there was a thing called the pankration was one of the sports, and that was basically boxing and wrestling combined. And I was wondering, should MMA or UFC be in the Olympics?
It's a yes for me, Rick. I think so. It's close to the original format, as you're saying. It's pure. I don't want to get too controversial here because every time they bring another sport in, I think something has to go. There's certain sports, I think we discussed it, I don't think really should be there. I really loved watching the tennis the other day, but should it be there? But the other one, triple jump. Why not just do long jump? Why do you have to complicate a long jump with a triple jump? It looks kind of weird. I'm sure those triple jumpers could become good long jumpers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you got to. There'd be an interesting thought process to how you worked out we should do a triple jump. I mean, what was behind the thinking of making the event?
It would be some weird thing in 1911. Some posh guy at some school would have done. That's the only reason why. It's just in there. Why do we have wood chopping? I'd rather see the Kiwis do wood chopping in the Olympics.
Well, why don't we have, and I reckon this would be just bloody brilliant, but why wouldn't there be a Bullrush, medal
at the Olympics?
I mean, if everyone had three people, from their country who represented them in Bullrush,
call them out,
Oh, you can call them out, So, I mean, it's not necessarily the best player that wins. I mean, you could have the best defender in there, who managed to tackle the Jonah.
And it'll be the last event of the games where they clear out the stadium, they get rid of all the crap on the field, clear it out, and the final event is International Bullrush.
Or what about a slippery pig then?
What? Like you put a slippery pig.
Well, you glaze the pig.
You're going to try and catch it.
You glaze the pig, and the person catches the slippery pig. Maybe that's just a party thing.
That's a Otago thing. Let's just stick to doing Bullrush. So
how about the javelin where you have to try and get the pig from distance?
That's called hunting.
Yes, I'm sure javelin started as a hunting sport.
So what we're saying here is we no to triple jump because there's too much rubbers, but we should replace it with possibly MMA, Bullrush, throwing a javelin at a pig.
Greasy pig hunting.
Greasy pig, and maybe a barbecue at the end of it.
Well, obviously.
With a few beers.
For everyone. At the village, for everybody.
The whole village.
And in the spirit of those...
With some bounty run thrown in there.
In the spirit of those...
Just so you can get a party arsehole, because every Olympic village needs a party arsehole.
We've got a show arsehole. So the good thing is, with all these changes in the sport of the Olympics, we're going to...
Why does he say such wicked, nasty things like that? I mean, it's,
Oh, Rick, how about this? How about each country has to... the event is called Party Arsehole. So you've got to nominate the Party Arsehole from your country.
Oh, God.
And they compete. And, you got to see... And then they'll vote.
The most feral, despicable bastard at the party, And every country nominates a party arsehole. That would be the most watched event at the Olympics, wouldn't it? Get ready. Sponsored by Bounty Rum, we've got party arsehole.
Someone comes to your house in a few years and sees a gold medal hanging on your wall. What was that for? I was party arsehole.
All right.
All right. Barcelona 2000.
There's only one way I bring this back. Look, hey, a bit of sanity.
That's the best way to finish any Olympics.
No, some sanity in this show. Can we just play Sir Peter Snell, please?
Which of your three gold medals holds the most significance to you? I mean, if you hadn't done a competitive 1500, that must have been quite something. And
one of the clips you showed here, the first one, which was so exciting because going in, I didn't think I was going to be a gold medalist. I was really trying to make the final, realistically, my goals sort of changed during the event as it turned out, and I found myself, by the time I reached the final, I thought, well, I could win this, but then during the running of the race, I got boxed in and fell too fast, and I sort of readjusted again and said, well, maybe I can get a medal out of this. But to snatch that victory at the last minute was just so exciting. And I don't think I quite realized what I'd done for quite a few days afterwards. Just went round in a dream.
So there you go. Just back to...
Legend.
Yeah. Back to some...
Absolute legend. But why didn't you have some bloody footage of it? That would have made it a bit more compelling.
I can't afford the rights.
This show's half-cocked, eh?
Yeah. So Sir Peter Snell, 3 gold medals. Legend. That's what an Olympian looks like to me.
Oh, yeah.
No doubting that. But, imagine, if we did get party arsehole into the Olympics, imagine what an Olympian would look like in a decade or so. It'd be a whole new category. It makes it achievable for the common man, and that's what I love about the Olympics. It's a bit elitist at the moment, but you wouldn't win party arsehole without a lot of training either.
I've asked every week for you guys to send me something about what's made you feel good this week. Lee, what have you come prepared with something that's made you feel good this week?
Yeah, I kind of have. I think you could probably run with the sevens. That first gold medal, as I mentioned earlier, that kicked me off. And I suddenly go, shit, I felt quite emotional being overseas. I felt patriotic. I felt shit, give him a taste of Kiwi kind of thing, So if you could run that footage again, that would be me.
I can't afford that footage.
I'm not claiming it as my own. Just, hey?
I can't afford that footage.
He can't even show Peter Snell. He can only show Peter Snell talking about what he did, but he can't even show him doing it.
I'm so glad that you said the sevens, because I thought you might go with a greasy pig or a party arsehole, and I was, thought you'd go off in those tangents again. So thank you.
If we had footage of that, yes, I probably would have gone with that.
Look, I felt the show fell apart when Lana left, when she had that power cut that she predicted. And it's fair to say that I've struggled with both of you tonight. And I'm hoping that maybe in future weeks we might be able to bring Eric Rush back in to give us some sanity and some this is a taste of what Eric Rush can bring us.
Is my mic's not? Oh, it is working.
Yeah.
This little Māori kid's eating a whole lot of chocolate. This fella comes up to him and says, "Mate, should you be eating all those chocolates?" And this guy goes, "Yeah, man, my grandfather lived to 126 years old." This guy says to him, "Yeah, but he didn't eat 6 chocolate bars every day." "No, he didn't, but he minded his own fucking business, man."
Okay.
You got to be black to tell those ones.
Yeah.
I know it's unfair on you white fellas, but I figure you guys had your fun in 1840. It's just our turn, bro.
Yeah. So actually, if anyone's in the supermarket, if you go up north to Whangarei, make sure you ask him to call in. It'd be great to see him.
Yeah, no, we need Rushy back for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well,
beautiful. Thank God he didn't drink. Imagine if he drank. Rushy never touched a drop, but by God, if we could only give him some bounty rum.
No.
We'd be our representative for Party Arsehole at the Olympics.
Well, I think I'm pretty confident that we'll be nominating you, Macca, and I think that you'll do bloody well for us and represent New Zealand. Finally, you found your sport.
No. Keep it seemly, Rick. You're better to be second at the party, because nobody remembers who was the second prick at the party. It's always the party arsehole.
That's right.
So as long as you're a couple behind, let's say the Human Cannonball, you're safe.
Right. You're always top 3, though.
We know a few. We know a few people that could,
Yeah.
Look, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. After
we could nominate a couple.
After your descriptions of nominating Party Arsehole to be at the Olympics and Leigh's description of knocking over hurdles with his testicles, I'm going to end the show right now.
Look, just the one testicle, Rick. Let's be clear.
Yeah, not both of them. One's always lower than the other.